Neham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragunitam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timaranda Shagyanachana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samastaveda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Noe Bijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chelanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Bhagawat by Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur, with translation by Sarva Bhavana Das, and we're in the Madhya Leela, chapter 23, and this is the title of this. Sri Chaitanya visits the Kazi with his Sankirtan party. Okay, so I'll begin where we left off. Lord Chaitanya was very happy to see that all were chanting the holy names of the Lord, dancing in mad ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya went to the house of Sridhar, who lived in a small broken hut with practically no possessions. I believe this is speaking of Kulavecha Sridhar, the one who's the banana leaf merchant. A dented and old metal water pot belongs to Sridhar, and that stood outside his house. The pot had been repaired so many times that even a thief would not think of taking it. The Lord was dancing in front of Sridhar's house. When he saw that the old pot was filled with water, the Supreme Lord Vishwambar, wanting to teach the human society how much he loves and cares for his devotees, picked up Sridhar's worn out old water pot and proceeded with great pleasure to drink from it. Even if someone wanted to stop the Lord, who could do so? When Sridhar saw what Vishwambar was doing, he came running, exclaiming, "O death, I am finished. You have come to my house to destroy me." So saying, Sridhar, the most saintly personality, fainted on the ground out of great spiritual perturbation. Vishwambar, with utmost satisfaction, said, "My whole being has now become purified. Today, finally, I have attained devotion unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna simply by drinking water from Sridhar's pot." Saying this, the Lord shed tears of divine ecstasy. Through this pastime, the Lord taught the world that by drinking water from the water pot of a pure devotee, one immediately develops attachment to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. In the Padma Purana, Adikanda, it is stated, the wise devotee who is desirous of purifying himself completely of all sinful reactions should specifically approach a pure Vaishnava and beg from him his food remnants. If this is not available, then at least he should beg some of his water remnants or drink the water that has washed his feet. The devotees began to cry in great joy, having seen the Supreme Lord manifest such mercy and special affection towards his devotee. Nityananda, Gadadhar, Advaita, and Srivas all fell to the ground and began to row about crying. Haridas, Vakeshwar, Chandrasekhar, Jagannananda, and the numerous other close associates of the Lord were unable to contain their spiritual emotion. They burst into tears of exultation. They cried out Krishna's sweet name. The house of Sridhar became the blessed exhibition site for the highest form of spiritual ecstasy in Krishna Prema. The whole universe exalted with the chanting of Krishna's holy name. Gaurachandra smiled benignly. His mission was accomplished. Just behold the glory of Sridhar's devotion to the Supreme Lord reciprocated with his fullest mercy. The Lord drank water with infinite pleasure from Sridhar's water pot made of a base metal. The pot was full of repairs and dents, a pot that was used for many purposes. However, the Lord enjoyed drinking from this pot because he was drinking Sridhar's transcendental devotion. And so the common liquid water was immediately transformed into divine ambrosia. Thus, the Lord taught that everything in relation to a pure devotee is transcendental. The Supreme Lord, on the other hand, ignores the valuable gem-studded water pot of an insolent materialist. He accepts any offering from his surrendered devotees, irrespective of any rules and regulations of offering. If his devotee has little and but ordinary food, then he forcibly takes it from him, as he displayed in Dwarka with Sudama Vipra. Thus we see that the Lord sells himself to his devotees. When the Pandavas were banished to the forest, Lord Krishna relished a simple offering of leafy vegetables from Yudhishthira Maharaj. The pure devotees are Krishna's father, mother, wife, and brother. Lord Krishna sees his surrendered devotees as his own kith and kin, and non-different from himself. Lord Krishna manifests himself according to the desire and mellow of his unalloyed devotee. He becomes their property, and thus allows himself to be bought and sold by only them. All the scriptures have described this wonderful quality of Lord Krishna. He especially favors his pure devotees and is always personally protecting them from all calamity. One should see the magnanimous position of a pure devotee and be thus inspired to develop spiritual attachment to Krishna. The position of Lord Krishna's servant is never to be viewed in deprecation. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Godhead, never accepts as his servant a person of little spiritual caliber. After having performed his prescribed duties for many millions of lifetimes, leading a pious life of nonviolence and humility, and praying constantly and sincerely to the Supreme Lord, a person is awarded the opportunity of sipping Ganga water and the chanting of the holy name of Lord Narayan at the time of death. This will certainly afford him liberation from all material bondage. Only then can he be blessed to become a servant of Lord Krishna. All the commentators of the Bhagavatam have clearly indicated that the liberated souls may render full devotional service to the Supreme Lord, the performer of transcendental pastimes. Therefore, the position of a devotee is almost equal to the Lord himself, and the Lord always sees his devotees in a more exalted position than even himself. The innumerable eulogies that have been compiled since time immemorial about the divine excellences of a pure devotee are an inadequate description. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are very happy to be called servants of Lord Krishna, and Ananta Sesha is always hankering to serve him. Although the pure devotees are almost equal to the Lord himself, they still constantly desire to serve him in loving attachment. Advaitacharya is one of such elevated devotees. Many persons do not know his real mood and position, and so they are discontented when he is glorified as a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. Yet even Lord Krishna himself is greatly pleased if anyone should call him a devotee, for who but the Lord knows perfectly well the glory of a pure devotee? The most abominable of all sinners proclaim themselves as God, hoping to ensure regularly a full belly. Gathering around him a crowd of asinine disciples, the impostor poses himself as the Lord of the universe. Although the body of such a cheater is only fit for the meal of a dog, he still becomes deluded by the external energy of Lord Vishnu to think that he is the supreme controller. Now just behold the opulence of the Lord of all lords, Lord Gaurachandra. Simply by his desire, millions of people converged with millions of burning torches to begin a historic march against oppression. All the way they were greeted with decorated doorways and showers of floral confetti from the heavenly denizens. To understand the transformation that took place in the Lord after he drank water from Sridar's water pot is difficult to understand. All the devotees began to shed tears of joy upon seeing his special mercy, seeing the special mercy that the Supreme Lord had showered upon his pure devotee. Sridhar was thunderstruck, with tears in his eyes brimming over, and holding straw between his teeth in utter humility. He knelt before the Lord, chanting his holy name, and said, "What have you done, my Lord? What water have you drunk?" Nevertheless, Vishwambar's bliss was unrestrainable. After having drunk water from his devotee's water vessel, he danced in ecstasy, surrounded by all his associates, who sang and danced along with him. Nityananda Prabhu and Gadadhar Pandit were always like two jewels decorating either side of the Lord. The fortune of Sridhar is indeed so great that even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are moved to tears of joy and appreciation. The Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya, is unattainable by wealth, fame, and erudition, but is captivated by unalloyed devotion. After the water-drinking pastime, the Lord moved on from Sridhar's place towards the town. Navadip became the most hallowed place in the entire creation as Lord Chaitanya and his associates danced and sang in the ecstasy of the Lord's holy name. The concave extremities of the universe echoed with only the sound of the holy name. The divine exaltation that is experienced by Sukadeva Goswami, Narad Muni, Lord Shiva, and others upon hearing the holy name was now being experienced by the residents of Navadip as they passed through the different localities of the town. Although the kirtan was going on for a whole night, one should not presume that this was just one night. Rather, unknown to anyone, several yugas passed within that single night. Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Lord, for Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Lord, nothing is impossible to accomplish. A mere raising of his eyebrows annihilates the entire universe. Only the most fortunate and pious souls can comprehend such esoteric truths about the Absolute. Certainly a dry mental speculator is never eligible for such revelations. Making loud, thunderous shouts of joy, the townspeople were enraptured beyond comprehension by the beautiful dancing of Lord Chaitanya and the profuse flow of divine nectar from the chanting of the holy name. People thanked Mother Sachi for carrying in her womb such a child as Vishwambar, and blessed Jagannath Mishra for being a good father to the Lord. For the good fortune that had descended upon themselves as the residents of Navadip, they were more than grateful. They all wished that this night would never end and that the Lord would continue his pastimes for many yugas. These pastimes of the Lord have neither beginning nor end. They appear... Are you going now?
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Hare Krishna. These pastimes of the Lord have neither beginning nor end. They appear and then after a certain time they disappear. The Lord manifests himself to his devotee according to the desire and mood of the devotee. The Srimad Bhagavatam states, O Supreme Lord, who is glorified in choice verses, you are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Even to this day, Sri Chaitanya is performing his eternal pastimes, and those who are pure in heart can see them. The Lord descends only to please his devotees. One may perform austerities and sacrifices for millions of lifetimes, but without devotional service, all his performances are futile. Pure devotional service is to serve the pure devotees of the Lord. This is the verdict of all the scriptures. I offer my obeisances to Sri Nityananda. All glory to him, for only by his mercy can one glorify Sri Chaitanya. Many persons see Nityananda in different ways. Some say that he is Balaram, that he is very dear to Sri Chaitanya, or that he is the expansion of the omnipotent Lord. Many say that they do not know or understand who he really is. Each one sees Sri Nityananda according to his own particular realization. Whoever Nityananda may be, he is very special to Sri Chaitanya, and may his lotus feet be the only treasure of my heart. Let all the atheists who criticize Sri Nityananda be very careful lest they be kicked in the head. I offer my obeisances at the feet of this dearmost devotee of Lord Chaitanya. May he eternally be my Lord and Master. I can know Sri Nityananda only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya, and I can know Sri Chaitanya only if Sri Nityananda reveals him to me. Chaitanya is Raman, Nityananda is Lakshman. Chaitanya is Krishna, and Nityananda is Shankarshan. Nityananda possesses the power to fully satisfy Sri Chaitanya with his transcendental service, and the intimate associates of Sri Chaitanya are in full knowledge of the extraordinary position of Nityananda. But at times one may see a certain elevated devotee disagreeing and quarreling with other devotees. This is transcendental and is happening by the desire of Sri Krishna. Since they are all the most elevated Vaishnavas, no one should side with any party, because in doing so, one will certainly make some offense against a Vaishnava. One can only become a true Vaishnava by serving Krishna and not finding faults in others. I offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Advaitacharya. May I remain attached to his dear servitors. All glory to Sri Chaitanya along with all his associates. These narrations about his pastimes reward one with the highest devotional mood. If one sides with Advaita against Gadadhar Pandit, then due to this imbecilic act, one is never allowed shelter by Advaitacharyas as devotee. The transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya are the purest form of divine ambrosia. I pray that these unlimited pastimes increasingly appear in the minds of all living beings. One who desires joy from hearing these narrations will surely see the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya directly. Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda are my life and soul. I, Vrindaban Das, offer this song at their lotus feet. Well, that's the end of this chapter. Now, this is a long chapter we read in 3 parts. Madhya-khanda, chapter 23, Sri Chaitanya visits the Kazi with his Sankirtan party. Now, sing. Okay, now we'll sing Hari Haraya. Those who want to sing along, page 60. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshaya Nama
Gopa Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Garadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Garadhara Shiva Sari Gaura
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan.
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhana.
Jaoite Vignana Shabishta Puran.
Jaoite Vignana Shabishta Puran.
Echai Gosai Jar Mui Charadas.
Echai Gosai Jar Mui Charadas.
Tasavar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras.
Tasavara Parenu Mora Panchagras.
Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas.
Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas.
Janame Janame More Abhilas.
Janame Murai Abhilas.
Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Goilabas.
Echai Gosai Abe Braje Koilabas.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Paramata Imana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koriya.
Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Naratamada.
Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Narotamara.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitya Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo.
Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo.
Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Nirmawacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Prem Se Go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vishwaparanya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Navadip Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur ki jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Saparshada Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Koladvip ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki jai. Ganga Devi ki jai. Tulasi Madharani ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Vrindaban Dham ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Sham Radha Kunda Kalini Yamuna Ju ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Srila Bhakti Pavan Maharaj ki jai.